Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. It is Throwback Thursday and I have gone to my All Things Fabulous set. I love this set. I chose to do a one sheet wonder, so I've got all the 4 pieces that I've cut out using this. I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing a 2 or 3 step stamping for a one sheet wonder. It's a lot of stamping, but the effect is really pretty. So what I've done is I've created one of the silhouette style cards, and I want to show you how I've done that. There's different ways to do it. My way takes one piece of 5 1/4 by 4, and you just go from there. You can also use, if you don't want to stamp all the one sheet wonder, you can also just use DSP, and in this case I used the Dainty Flowers designer series paper with some rich razzleberry cardstock behind it. And what I've used to do the greetings in these ones is the Charming Sentiments pack. What's really nice about this set is it's got the sentiment silhouette dies. So for every greeting that's in this set, there's a corresponding die that goes with it. So you can cut those out just absolutely perfectly. So that's the Charming Sentiments with the sentiment silhouettes. Really useful set. So this card I did with just the congratulations in the Melon Mambo. This one, again, I just did the good luck, and see how nicely that cut out there. Isn't that gorgeous? So I'm going to show you how I did the cards. So I start with a card base, and then I've got a 5 1/4 by 4 that I cut out of my one sheet wonder. I've got the congratulations that I stamped out, and I've got dimensionals on the back. These are the colors that I used. I've got the Tahitian Tide Granny Apple Green, and I used first and second value of that. Melon Mambo, Gorgeous Grape, Mango Melody, and Parakeet Party to do the card with. So what I'm going to do is I am going to set this up. In many cases with this card, or with this style, we end up with 3 pieces of paper in decreasing sizes, and you layer them over top of each other, and then you stamp, and then you've got the edge around, and you use the cardstock in behind. This way you use 1 piece of paper and you just layer those pieces up. So it uses less paper, it's less bulky, and you get to conserve your paper. So all I'm doing is I've got the stitched rectangle dies, and I am lining these up. And usually I would have dimensions for you and everything on the matting, the cardstock mat. We're going to cut it to the size after we've already die cut everything out. So I've got that popped in like that, just held down with sticky notes. And then I'm going to center this piece in here, making sure that I am centered. If you're not squared up, it looks a little silly, a little skew-whiff, as I would say, crooked. So that's nice and straight there. So again, just a couple of sticky notes to anchor it down. And for this one, this is kind of the step that takes the most time, making sure we're all lined up. When I did the one sheet wonder, that took probably took a good 20 minutes to do that. So I'm just going to run this through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and then we can build the card. And I'll show you how I go about lining everything up. But to do that, I just need to get these out of the way. So I'm just going to pop them over there, and then we can take this apart. And because I've got it held together with Post-it notes, it's staying together nicely. So let's just do this and this. And we're just going to pop these out. Again, with the stitched rectangle dies, sometimes you just need to be a little bit careful, because the little stitch teeth are sometimes quite strong. So there we go. Once you get it going, it just pops out nicely. We'll do the same with the center. So what you've got now are 3 pieces that came out the same piece. So what we're going to do is I've got a sheet of Melon Mambo. I'm just going to get rid of all of these little pieces of paper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my adhesive and I am going to just stick this down right to the cardstock. I'm going to do all the way along the edge because I don't want it to lift anywhere. Like that. And then I'm going to place it how I want it to be bordered. So I'm just going to lay it down like that. And then I'm just going to lay the other pieces down too. Again, the same thing, adhesive all the way around the frame. And this is going to take more cardstock, but I want to line up in the actual corners of the paper so that I know that I'm square, like that. And then I can take this one. You can dimensionalize these too if you want a little bit more depth. I chose not to. I chose to just flat mount them. So now they're all down like this. We're going to take our cutter and I'm going to line this up. I can see my line is right here so that I know what depth my mat is going to be cut at. So I just cut that. And then I do the same thing. I'm just going to move this up into frame so that just line this up so that I know where my cut line is. It's right there, so I can come in a little bit. And sometimes it's as easy as just lining up with the edge of the trimmer. So I'm just going to come in now and hopefully I'm not out of frame for you. I'm just going to pull this back a little bit. Make sure I'm lined up. Pop this down. I'm just going to shimmy it in just a little bit like that. And there we go. And then we're going to do that again. Just going to shim it up so I know where I am. And there we are. That one's a little bit thin, but and for this little one, I'm going to bring it closer to me so I can see what I'm doing a little bit better. There we go. And there we go. Now, with the stitched dies, if you're a little bit thin, you might see some of the stitching underneath, but it's all good. So we've got all of our pieces here, and they're going to layer up. And we only have one thing we need to pay attention to now is making sure that we have all of our paper the correct way up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and layer these pieces up. First piece down, I need to make sure that I have got it the correct way, and I do. So this is more than 5 1/4 by 4. So I'm just going to do the same thing I normally do and just make sure I'm lined up. And there we go. So that's lined up nicely like that. And then I'm going to add the next layer, matching my corners. If I do it like this, I've not matched and I've lost the kind of the silhouette effect. So I'm just going to place this down like that. And there we go. And then same thing with the center. Match it up. Pop it down like that. And then I can put my congratulations. With this one, if you wanted to do it as a tent card and put the congratulations across it like that, you could. It's going to be very heavy, so it's probably going to fall flat. If you wanted to do it this way, your best bet is to do a side opening landscape card. Because of the amount of cardstock on the front, it does make it heavy and it will tend to collapse. But what we can do is we can pop that down like that. And there we go. If you wanted to put some bling on it, you could. But that is how you do a silhouette card. So thank you so much for watching, and let's create together again soon.